Hey guys, before we get into things, just a couple of quick notes. This video will contain major spoilers for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. If you want to go in fresh, make sure you don't watch this video. Also, the first couple of minutes of this video are setting some history and background, so if you want to get right into my analysis and looking at what's real and what's not, I'll put a timestamp up on the screen that you can follow. Roll the intro. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars video. So, as I'm sure literally all of you know, the newest and final trailer for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker dropped last night, at least if I get this video uploaded when I intend it to. I actually quite enjoyed the trailer, and if you want to see my full breakdown, especially of which ships are in that massive Resistance fleet, you can check out the live stream I did. I'll try to remember to put a link to that down below. But today I want to talk about something completely different. So, as you may or may not know, there is a very large community of Star Wars leak enthusiasts, and what I mean by that is people who want to know the plot of Star Wars movies before they come out. Basically, they want to be spoiled. Recently, the leak community, I guess you'd call it, has sort of been in a tizzy because there have been some major, basically full plot leaks of The Rise of Skywalker, which were posted on the Star Wars Leaks subreddit, and there's been continual discussion over whether they're true, whether Disney has put fake endings or fake stories out, whether the leakers are just flat out wrong, and to be honest, there was a lot of confusion. Personally, I saw the leakers change their stories a few times after new information was released publicly. I did find it hard to believe that the whole film would be leaked so far in advance, and to be honest, I still do have a lot of questions about the total accuracy of the leaks, but after the final trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, there is no argument that they are at least somewhat legitimate. Now, before we continue, just a warning, obviously, that I will be discussing spoilers. I'm going to go out of my way to not mention plot elements that are not necessary to confirm whether the spoilers are correct or not, but still, major elements of the movie will be discussed, so if you want to go in clean, I recommend you come back and probably never watch this video. I also do want to give off a little warning. If the leaks are true, keep in mind that they're totally without context, and the ending of the film especially seems to still be shrouded somewhat in mystery. I remember before Endgame was released, the plot was leaked on the MCU Leaks subreddit, and basically everyone hated it with a passion and thought it was going to be a colossal failure. Obviously, fans don't really feel the same way now. Anyway, I'll link the leaks down in the description, but they were posted by a Reddit user and one of the moderators of the leaks subreddit known as Jedi Paxis. Certain, although not all, elements have also been corroborated by Jason Ward of Making Star Wars. The leaks initially just detailed the first two acts of the film while giving a sort of broad description of the third act, but later Paxis made another post which goes pretty in-depth into the final act of the movie. So again, before you go read the leaks, just major spoilers that, well, you might have the entire movie ruined for you if not knowing the plot in advance is important to you. So first off, there were several sort of small details that were shown in this trailer which seem to corroborate previous information. One of them is the fact that Sidious seems to be attached to some sort of life support device. He says, and I'll quote as much as I can without spoiling unnecessary bits, that Palpatine is in a grand arena supported by some sort of mechanical arm, possibly connecting him to life support machinery. Moving on, another detail is that the heroes supposedly go to an icy asteroid base to meet with a First Order informant. It seems very possible that this location from the trailer is the icy asteroid base. I actually forgot that this leak existed, and when I saw the trailer, I assumed that this was a First Order base, or maybe even Palpatine's base, but it's possible that the First Order is just coming down on our heroes to try to capture them. The leaks do also specifically mention that the First Order arrives and begins attacking, so keep that in mind. There's also mention of Chewbacca being captured, and when we watch the trailer, there clearly is Chewie's bowcaster and bandolier in what looks like a prison cell, so maybe this was after he was freed. One of the more convincing things in the trailer, and one of the more major things, is the presence of a Sith dagger. I don't want to go too far down this path, because if you guys want to be spoiled that much, you can choose to do so, but we clearly see in the trailer some sort of dagger being held by Rey, which I think matches up with JP's leaks quite well. Another major plot point is what's going on with C-3PO. JP's leaks basically mention that he undergoes a procedure that helps the Resistance move the plot forward, and that there is a serious threat of him losing his life, or, well, droid life during the procedure. Again, that matches up clearly with what we see. There's also, and I guess this one is pretty obvious, the fact that Kylo and Rey seem to be teaming up, and the fact that Rey will stand against the Empire. That, though, I could have leaked to you guys at the end of The Last Jedi, and I would have been just as right. Similarly, Palpatine is supposed to somehow describe Kylo and Rey's power together, a powerful connection between the two, and there seems to be some reference to that by him saying that you've made a mistake both coming here at the same time. I believe that Jason Ward from Making Star Wars also got something right about Palpatine's throne being sort of thorny, and to be fair, he often gets details about props right. Another Jedi Pax's detail is, and I quote, "The Star Destroyers of the Sith fleet break through the dark rocky surface of the planet and rise into the air." Another is that the Resistance arrives and they are confronted with hundreds of Palpatine's Star Destroyers. Their goal is to take out the flagship, and I won't say any more. We do see during the trailer troops being landed on something that doesn't seem to be a standard Imperial Star Destroyer, and if you want to know why, you can watch my breakdown. I went over it in some detail. We also have a mention of Janna, one of the new characters riding creatures and fighting First Order, so we have that as well. I think those are most of the similarities, and as you can see, there are a lot of them. I don't want to go into the leaks line by line because at this point I haven't yet, and I still want to be somewhat surprised by the nuances of the movie rather than knowing how each scene plays out. But again, they're down in the description for you to check out yourself if you want to. Again, it will tell you how the movie may end up, so just be careful. There are, however, some things which seem to contradict the leaks or show holes in the leaks. For example, we don't hear about Finn being present for the duel between Rey and Kylo, which does seem a little strange. We don't hear anything about the Rebel blockade runner. The description of Palpatine's lair from both Making Star Wars and JP seems to be completely different, although it is very possible that the shots of the lair itself were just not included in the trailer, which would make sense. My opinion, for what it matters, is that the leaks are probably largely correct. I think there's a lot of nuance missing and a lot of details missing, especially around the third act, and I think things, at least when Jedi Pax has heard it, were still subject to change. The ending is the part that I'm still most questioning about, but regardless of whether it's 100% accurate in detail or not, it lacks the sort of effect of seeing a movie in person and everything else that goes into it. Like I said, it's the difference between a poorly received endgame leaked and a generally well-liked movie. But that's all I have to say for now. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Speaking of which, if you don't want to be spoiled, probably just avoid the comments generally. That's all I have to say for now. Until next time, have a great day, and may the Force be with you.